Chúng ta đang ở những ngày đầu năm mới 2025, khoảng thời gian đặc biệt mà khắp mọi miền trên đất nước Việt Nam đang rộn ràng trong không khí đón Tết cổ truyền, một nét văn hóa đặc sắc và ý nghĩa. Tết Nguyên đán không chỉ mang ý nghĩa đoàn tụ gia đình, tưởng nhớ tổ tiên, mà còn là cơ hội để mỗi người con đất Việt thể hiện tình yêu quê hương đất nước qua những phong tục tập quán đầy ý nghĩa. Tết Việt Nam cũng để lại nhiều ấn tượng sâu sắc đối với bạn bè quốc tế qua từng mâm cơm ngày Tết, qua tiếng pháo rộn ràng hay những lời chúc đầu năm ngập tràn hy vọng. Văn hóa Tết đã dần trở thành một cầu nối văn hóa, thu hút sự quan tâm và yêu mến của nhiều người trên khắp thế giới. Báo Công Thương đã có cơ hội trò chuyện với một vị khách vô cùng đặc biệt, bà Hilde Solbakken, Đại sứ quán Na Uy tại Việt Nam, để lắng nghe những ấn tượng và cảm nhận của bà về ngày Tết cổ truyền của Việt Nam. Qua đó, chúng ta sẽ lắng nghe những chia sẻ của một vị khách nước ngoài về những nét đặc sắc của văn hóa Việt Nam đã chạm đến trái tim họ và đâu là những trải nghiệm đáng nhớ nhất khi họ được trực tiếp tham gia vào ngày lễ truyền thống này.
I know that you have lived and worked in Vietnam for quite some times. So how do you perceive the atmospheres of Vietnam's traditional Tết holiday? And this year, will you be celebrating Tết in Vietnam? Do you have any special memories about your first Tết holiday in Vietnam?
Yeah, this will actually be my third Tết in Vietnam,
Yes.
and I have enjoyed it very much. I like the kind of the hustle and bustle and hectic activities leading up to the holiday, when everybody's getting ready to decorate their homes and going out to get the kumquat trees and the peach blossoms. I have the feeling that maybe it's almost a little bit too busy for a lot of Vietnamese women. They have a lot of work to do. But I think it's a lovely time of the year. In my first Tết here in Vietnam, my family and I had the opportunity to visit the Temple of Literature. And one of the master of calligraphy there showed us how he does his craft, and shared the word happiness with us. It was a very nice experience.
Oh yes, and I'm sure that this Tết celebration of yours in Vietnam will be very special. And among many traditional Tết customs in Vietnam, such as making chung cake, erecting the Tết tree, or the Tết cuisine, which traditional impresses you the most, and why?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of the traditions that I like a lot. I think the paying respect to ancestors and to kind of Mother Nature is a very, very nice tradition. The traditions around the kitchen god and and the first footer I find quite fascinating.
Yes.
Apparently my birth year fit very well with the year of the tiger, so I got to be the first footer at the embassy.
Yes.
2 years ago. And I think it's also very nice, the sort of the lucky money that you share with especially children, and it's very nice.
So, is there any difference between the traditional Tết holiday of Vietnam and in your country? Do you see any similarities between the festivals in Norway and the Lunar New Year of Vietnam?
Yeah, I think maybe if I'm going to compare Tết in Vietnam, it's probably like a combined Christmas and New Year in Norway, because they're so close together. So maybe the biggest similarity is that there's a lot of focus on sort of family and community in both celebrations. There's also, of course, the element of decorating, lots of lights. In Norway, of course, that time of year is very dark, so there's a lot of lights everywhere, both in the streets and inside the homes. With the new year, I think that the sense of sort of new and fresh beginnings is quite similar. So in Norway, for example, we'll have sort of New Year resolutions, where a lot of people will kind of set their, okay, this is what I want to achieve in the year ahead.
Yes. So could you share your feelings when participating in traditional activities during Tết in Vietnam, such as visiting Tết markets, or attending the year-end party? During Tết, how do you perceive the Vietnamese people's affection for their families, friends, and community?
And I think the sense of family and community comes out very strongly during Tết.
Yes.
So it's very nice to see. I mean, I know it's also very busy. Everybody's traveling everywhere because you're visiting family around the country and so on. But it seems like a festival or a celebration that really brings people together. So that's very nice to see. And I've very much enjoyed my previous Tets here in Vietnam. Both, as I said, all the busyness and preparations beforehand, and then when Tet finally comes around and the streets of Hanoi are so quiet.
Yes, true.
Walk around and really enjoy the scenery. So it's very nice. I'm looking forward to Tet this year again.
I hope you have a great Tet holiday in next year in Vietnam. And we sincerely appreciate your time and sharing. And thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.